Yeah, totally good. Makerere High School, class of 1992 to 94. I've always told this story again and again. I'm student number 001 mumwansanga ku Makerere High Kegusi nafuna ekifo kyange nga nkyali mu senior 4. Okay. Emboozi tugenda kunyumya ku mboozi nyingi nnyo naye naye kusooka kutereeza kya Joan. When did Kegus first set his eyes on Joan? Nalaba ebintu bingi nnyo abaana nga bajoininga Makai. If you all go back and remember the very first day you walked through those gates at Makerere High School, it was a bit of, can I call it delirium? Nti tumanyi kyoyingiramu desukulu tumanyi kyogendamu abaali bagezezako amasomero ndeje byani byonna biganye, so it was like the last resort. So you walk in and get to meet, get to know, and get to see as well. Kubanga abaana abasooka okunda abakegusi baafuna impression ennungi nnyo ku Makerere High School. Very smart. Nyambadde akasaati kange kayamato, nyambadde akasweta, nfuluma get abaana nga banneego. This shouldn't be Makai. But the overall impression of the schools at that time, we're talking of 1992, you still had this elitism in education. Traditional schools, abamu ze tuvudde namu, tuvudde mu Zimuyiri, abamu muvudde mu Gayaza, Namagunga, Nabisusa, Makerere College, biwanvu. How you all ended up in Makerere High School is another story. Me, I had been suspended in my senior 4 candidate year 2 months prior to the final exams. So I only returned to do my finals as a national requirement. You have to do your exams. But it was to do with discipline at school. Kegusi bamugobako mu ssomero naye byali byakugenda wairaka, just skipping school, nothing much more serious, not academic, nothing. And but that was to change the course of my life. I had never had the imagination or thought that I would end up in Makerere High School. Although my Uncle George, yalingamu Micho, Ebya Micho, that's another story altogether. But once I was suspended to return and do my exams at Musoga College in Muiri, he advises me to go and apply straight away. That after the Kantab, after all of the exams, I was admitted in Makerere High, Senior 5. Oroninda May Nganya, the day everybody who had been enrolled turned up. Chilaba. Now this is very interesting. In the beginning, we were about 40-50 students. Then it just snowballed. There was a massive influx of students from Muiri and other schools who had been left out. We've got the full picture of how Makerere High ne Kegus agenda okusetinga ki, the stage wide open for him. For me, if you go back and remember, of course, meeting Mr. Godfrey Njagala for the first time as a HM, he came across as like the disciplinarian. Ajja kutereza ne wojja neddala ulyo, ajja kusobola. Yakubanga emigo ku assembly mujjuko ebintu byonna. Wakati, of course, that rubbed off well with the girls. The girls pretty much needed that in the time of their lives. Manyi abaana ngataso okulaluka, abaana bakola bye baagala bonna. So by the time you end up in Makerere High School, Njagi boy, yali akimanyi nti gwe alina okukutereza. And he did much. He did a lot. To shape abaana. Ati, of course, tutandikira ku assembly. Yakolanga gonda ebyo uniform check ebyani byonna, 1 inch of hair. Abaana bonna abawala nga mulina kusala 1 inch. Mujijukira 1 inch of hair, wait. Kati, I had not noticed Joan initially. Joan yoyo ntandika omulaba nga tuli mu senior 5, I think second term, nga tasala nviiri. Alina ponytail empanvu bweti, ayambala bulungi nnyo, very smart. Omanyi, those are the kind of things that draw people to each other. N'abalala baalinga smart. Twalina abaana ba Buranyanje girls, where are you? Nabatuuma erinnya ne banyiigira, nabatuma Jungle Queens. Jackie, you remember that name? Bino ebinnya by'otutuma tetubyagala. Mwalimu Siria Mwanganje, mwalimu Ann Katusime, mwalimu Sarah Nyacho. Yeah, those are the Buranyanje girls. So pretty much senior 5 batugitandika bwe tutyo. Kakati Joan ajja atya mu bulamu bwa Kegus. Where do we cross our paths? Bino ebintu bitandikira mu music, dance and drama festival. Omukyala ali mu Nagana. You know, those who took part in that festival, kati ngafe abagirimu fe abakitandika pretty much. Nekiyingiramu ne Igumba later on as the entertainment prefect mu senior 6. Let's go back from the genesis. Kubanga Joan ayingira ekintu ekyo. Mwalimu Jennifer Mwanganje, mwalimu Charity. She just done a party for you guys. Charity was very, very instrumental. Very, very instrumental mu choir. Mwalimu Dorina Tugonza, mwalimu Emmanuel Subi. You know, kati Kegus okutandika ekintu ekyo mwetemwamanya how this thing took off. Nali mu office ya headmaster Mr. Njagala. Kakati eno concept nali njijja Muiri, Busoga College Muiri, nga kinnuma nnyo that I had not returned to Muiri because I had wanted to be an entertainment prefect. Remember, nvudde Muiri nga ndichi Mr. Makai. I'm the best dancer in the school, or more or less the eastern region. Kubanga munyange wayiraka wonna nga bamanyi Kegus azina wali gaya azina nnyo. Ati that idea, we said it to Njagala. Yena ajifula Founders Day. Yeah, it had never happened to celebrate Makerere High Founders Day. And they would t-shirt, so it was my idea. He just bought into everything because once we settled in as a school, as an intake, yagenda okulaba nga abaana balina balina kaliba ndala. Imagine putting Kegus, Victor, Ani, Henry Rule, Alex Kadu, Gondi, David Wallace, kia Mungu mwana. We were steaming. Twalina energy yamanyi nnyo. So we lifted the school up. Kyemuva mulaba nti ate later on twafuna intake y'amaanyi ennyo. Abaana bajoininga Mark High mu senior 6. Abaana baayika bayitirivu nnyo. Admission size genda waggulu nnyo. Akati tuddeyo ku kino ekya MDD. So we threw the idea to the headmaster, Mr. Njagala, and he went for it. He didn't have a problem with it. We seemed to have that caliber. Kati ng'olwawo olabye ne ku bya debating club eyo yali amaanyi nnyo ba Danton Mweyu, Danton Moses Twanuka, stand up, bani bonna. Of course Kegus yakirimu. So omukyalo oyo mu Nagana eyambalanga ekitenje kya blue. Guys, we were training in the church. Mujukira church. Akati omukyala yava Makerere University mu department of music. Kubagiyitanga. Kati ne bayongerako ebirala ng'olwo bakaintroducinga MDD e Makerere around early 90s, 91. Akati omukyala ajja, we had to put ourselves together. Amanye who are involved. Kiraba? We had to come together. We had to have our first meeting in the church. That church which was next to the what? The main block. The block they were building. So everybody was in the church. Mutandikira training every evening. Blah blah blah. Kati atwawuddemu. Nze nali mu dance. Ayana zina. mwe mwali ne Charlie aliridda wa nze nazina naye nga idea yange kati ngenda bawa Joan wa crossing paths ne Kegusi olutandise rehearsals kati abaana ba sciences, let me call it like this, there was a divide for aba arts nga tuli very loud, aba sciences nga bali more laid back. Ate nga bwala bali abangi mu sciences surprise kyewunyisa nnyo abaana b'obuwala PEMU, MEG, PCM, PCB baani bonna and Joan yali akola MEG, mathematics, economics and geography. But tulina bwe tumeetingera mu kiraasi kiraba Jennifer was always all rounder. Jennifer Mungerena nga atubeeramu tunyumya atubeeramu side ne side tulya ffenna lunch. Then of course you had another clique of girls abas arts abajjanga nezi flask eza red mbogere of course tukomaawo akati and that is it. So it was a melting pot of sorts. So many things were happening. Era we muddayo emabega mu memories ne mulaba lunch time Makerere High was a beehive. Olwo ndeeta idea y'emmere 5 10 oyo omukyala yafumbanga emmere manju senga wange nze namuleeta e Makerere High akole sente. She's my aunt. Kiraba kakati wano kati Kegusi afuse I was into the mechanics of the school, left, right and center. Now Joan Yoro ali mu choir. Joan, you're going to add more to this story. Abantu bategeere ebigenda maaso ebyo bamanyi because Joan ekintu kyoliko right now nze ndi proud. Ate siraba nti anapple falls far away from the tree. Era nakiraba mu Makerere High Music Dance and Drama Festival tuli ringside ffenna ffe twali Mr and Mrs Mac High babiri. So choir ng'egenda mu maaso, practice and there was a lot to do. So they were doing their own bit. They were rehearsing. I think the rehearsal went on for about a month or two. Or Victor Naya joining nze Mawa Charles amanya mangi atono n'aba senior 5 kati nga bayingidde intake ya senior 5 kiraba kubanga mwalimu Bakamurasi Richard ya mwalimu Andrew Kagoda mwalimu waliwo Kagoda omulala awo ne Charlie baani bonna abo balondemu nagezako musika yingire naye nga he came in towards the end. So tuli ku story ya Joan kebirungi yatugatta Makerere High era nga bagambye nti an apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and her role I think is cemented by the overwhelming love she has from every OB and OG. Kati nze wemba ndino I'm very, very close to Joan, very, very close as a friend. And she believes in me. And I don't have to say much. I don't even have to say whatever I have to say. That is the trust. You know, biva musomero. Era WhatsApp group yaffe. Eno. Eyina ebirungi nnyo byerese. Ate bitufunamu right now because of one person. Anyway, akati kiri bwe kiti. On the very day of the festival, during the Founders' Day, of course, it began as this. Abaana abasinga abajja abalala baali caught unaware until there was even something like that going on. So baategeka ekidaala awo we twafunyanga assembly basaawo ekidaala twabikola kiro in preparation for the next day. Then they never fumba omuceere. All those things were done during the night, so at the next day when everything begins at around 11, ba Mr. Kisubika, ba Victoria, bona kakati all the staff members bani ba Mr. Tabo, Kwetonda, bani bona were in attendance. I have the pictures. Chidaba, we are trying making sure until we capture that moment. But we begin with, of course, the carols of singing, school choir. Did we have a national school anthem? Because the school had this Christian background behind it. That's the Scripture Union. Generally, Scripture Union. The story. Scripture Union. After classes, after school in the evening, we would pray. There was a room, corridor yayitangamu bwet in that building in the front. Room yalinga munda olusuka sabya ne waggulu kegosi yagiremu. Walter veyo, in fact Walter yasobola okutwaga ondi wano background ku kino ekintu. Yali yamanyi Scripture Union eyo. Akati after that, the speeches, the blah blah blah, the somero, njagalanga agezako tuteekamu ekintu kye. He had a lot of expectations in us, and he had fallen in love with the students, the kind of students he wanted for his school. Kiraba, ayenga naffe tuli proud nnyo tumwagaza essomero lye. Tutandika ebyaffe bitabina waliwo buskit drama, bwalimu oyo Suubi ne Victoria, ne buskit obulala bwali waawo, just to get the vibe. Ne baserving omuceere, ne baserving ennyama ne soda kiraba. And then of course things moved to the next level. There was the dance festival, whatever, all those kind of things, the moment was seized on, Hakati, this was it. We hit a conundrum. Wano, Joan Nagala to a story, whatever was going on behind the scenes, Mwalimu Jennifer ne Victor. Announcing we are going to do the Miss Makerere High and the Mr. Makerere High contest. It wasn't even a contest. We tried to mazo kweronda. Right mazo kweronda. Kafecha fechi wende. Genda ku runway omodolinge. Kegosi na okome nyamba doro wait. John Ayaba the black. But I think Njagala got wind of that. He got wind of that. MC yali Victor nga yakola announcement nayogera bla 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 bla, whatever was coming in rotation. And the pictures we have, Joan yakola runway. She was just very, 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 very decent, very smart. Nakomao ali kegosinanga katika ndio botala ndio kanzi ba shop, the whole school was on pandemonium. Do you know this hysteria of people? It was a very, very magical. I still remember that moment of me walking behind Joan. Joan was leaving the runway, I was coming in. So kind of she was walking back to me and I was coming in rotation. Very sweet. Those are the moments I'm talking about. Those are the moments I'm talking about in Makerere High. So Kakati, that left a very lasting memory. It was a moment that captured me. That's 1993. Yeah, 1993. Yeah. August, I think it was August. 1993 August, yeah. That's when we had that festival. So going back to the friendship now, we get together. Nzene Joan. Joan, very, very respectful. kuba nange nali muyigiddeko ebintu bingi nnyo. Remember tuvudde mu boys schools. Ate Kegusi yagala kuba n'abawala balungi, atambula n'abawala balungi, nze mbawerekera ku gundi ku stage wali awandege nange nawerekera abaana ba buwala. Buli omu yagala bamuwerekere. Nange tugende ffenna. It wasn't in a bad way, but nabo abawala bakyagalanga. Kubanga I used to leave school around 7, 8. Nze oluusi nasibanga about 10 almost. Kuba nasibanga mu Wandege yalo nga ntandise okusula mu campus Mitchell Hall, then from Mitchell Hall nentandika okusula mu Scotch Hostel. Chris Wagaba, Moses Chwanuka, Nze Victor, David Oyaro. Tuli bangi nnyo abaali mu Scotch Hostel. That's towards the end. And it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Memories of the times gone by. Nenga bwemba summarizing a story affair. Echa Joan tiri irreplaceable. You cannot replace Joan with anybody. Eyane ku Makerere High School. Buli omu yeewuunyanga nnyo Joan. And the kind of girl she was. Very impressionable and likable. Very, very likable. All right. So byebyo kakati nenga Joan yandoga. But I had a laugh. I had a very good laugh today. I had a very good laugh. All right, people. Yeah.